How to get over a breakup. You're watching this video because you've probably just broken up with someone or been broken up with. Now, recently I have just been broken up with, and this is what I'm doing to get myself over it. And this is coming from my perspective of how I would coach someone and also get someone else through their tough times. This is the process that I would use. And it's a very simple 4-step process. So make sure you stay to the end to understand all 4 steps. So just a little bit of background. A while ago, I went through a breakup that I instigated. It was me doing the breaking up. And recently I'm going through a breakup that I have been broken up with. The first step and the most important step is actually let yourself be sad. I may be the person that loves spreading positive. Well, actually now I'm not so much. I used to be the person that was so overly positive of everything, and that's actually quite toxic. Now I'm at a place where I'm positive, but I'm not delusional. If something bad is going on, it's bad. Appreciate it. Live with it. Like, sit with it. Be sad. If you need to cry, cry. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not telling you not to cry. I cry. I did cry. And it's okay to cry. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry as well. It's okay to feel any negative emotion, because effectively what you're doing is you're mourning a person. You're mourning a person that was in your life every day. Someone that was in your life every day, whether that was physical, whether that was via WhatsApp or FaceTime or whatever nowadays that you can do, they were still part of your life every single day for a period of time. And no matter what, you are now losing what you did have. So it is mourning in a sense. Now, they're obviously not dead, but you're letting go of what was. The reason you can't see someone who is dead is because they are gone. The reason we don't see an ex is because we are not with them anymore. Now, you can become friends with them. It just depends on how the relationship went, how it ended, and all that kind of stuff. And that's not what I'm going to explain in this video, because that's for you to make a decision on that. And it is totally okay to feel the hurt that they've caused. This doesn't mean you should hold on to the hurt, but it's okay to feel it. And I do want to sort of rewind what you should do before you do feel this sadness. And if you're in the stages of breaking up, then do all you can to make this work. Do all you can, because what you don't want to do is regret not doing enough when you think you could have done more. And regardless of what's gone on, my immediate reaction was, because it wasn't just like one day, like that's it, we're ending. It was over about a week, and it was sort of unsure. And my immediate reaction was, all right, then, well, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit back and do nothing because you clearly don't want me. That was my attitude towards it. When I removed myself from ego, and I called myself down and I removed myself back, I went more towards, okay, let me see what I can do. Let me do what I can to make this work. And what I did was all I could do, and it didn't work. And that is okay, because we don't always get what we want immediately, because the universe, God's plan, the universe plan, whatever you want to say, there could be a better reason behind this. This breakup could actually be something that actually gets you back together in the future. This breakup could be something that sets you on a new career path to find the love of your life. Whatever it is, there could be something great behind this. And my invitation to you is to look for and find the good in this. And as I said, once you've then done that, once you've then done all that you can do, and it's unfortunately it hasn't worked out, and now you're at step 1, is just be sad. Allow yourself to feel it. Allow yourself to feel it. Don't get angry to the point of like what I've done before, where you get angry and you punch stuff, or you get angry and you take it out on other people. But just allow yourself to be angry. Feel the emotion. If they've hurt you, they've hurt you. It's okay to feel hurt. It's okay to feel what someone else has done to you. If they've embarrassed you, they've embarrassed you. If whatever they've done is what they've done. And it's okay to feel that sadness. Let yourself feel the emotion. Don't try and hold it back, because if you let it out now, it will get easier. If you hold on to it for longer, one day you're just going to explode with that emotion. That could be anger, sadness, guilt, whatever it is. Step number 3 is realizing the cards you've been dealt are the cards you've been dealt. So I want you to choose, before I actually reveal, set 1 or set 2. Set 1 is this one, set 2 is this one. Choose now and lock it in by commenting down below. So now that you have chosen your set of cards, all I want you to realize is this set of cards is a king and an ace. That is 21. Imagine we're playing blackjack right now. And this set of cards is a queen and a 10. So they're both, this adds to 20, this adds to 21. If you want to win at blackjack, you need to get 21. If you want to be secure and safe, you need to get 21. But just because you chose card set 2 doesn't mean you chose a bad hand, because you can win with 16 in blackjack. I'm not a massive blackjack player, but you can win with 16. You got given a very good hand. It just wasn't as good as this hand. And that's okay. We're not always going to get the best cards dealt to us all the time. If I could just pick 2 random cards off this deck of cards, let me pick the top 2. I got a queen and a 6, so that's 16. I could then flip and go for a 2, so that's 18, and flip again. 21. There you go. I genuinely didn't even plan that. The first 2 I did, I didn't plan that. That's hilarious. So I've just flipped 21. I got lucky there. But if I do that again, if this is 21, I swear to God. 1, 2. Okay, a 10 and a queen. See, I would hold with that. I wouldn't risk it, but is that an ace? No, it's a 2, so there I would have bust. But if I just held with that, it's a good hand. I could still win with that hand. It's still a good hand. But also notice, you may not have been given a good hand. You may have been given a 2. Why do I keep picking kings? A 2 and a 7. That's 9. That's not a good hand at all to start with. Just because you've been given a bad hand to start with doesn't mean you can't progress your hand and flip the next card and do what I just did there and reach that 21 and win the game. What you've been given is what you've been given. You may have just been broken up with. That's not your fault. Well, it may be your fault. Sometimes I personally see it as what I've done is what I could do in a relationship. I know what I could do and I know what I could offer. Unfortunately, there's just something that wasn't there. And that's okay. Some things just happen. And we have to accept that sometimes. We can't just get angry because other people are living the best relationships. Because again, you don't see what goes on behind closed doors. We can't just get angry at other people and jealous of other people. But we can do our best to make our relationships better. And if they don't work, they just don't work. That's just the hand that you've been dealt at that time. But maybe that hand is the best hand that you needed. Think of it this way. You could turn up at blackjack and you could win a potential. Let's say you're going to win a potential of 100 grand and you've got 20 and someone else has got 21. They get the 100 grand, you don't. You leave with 1 grand left. You put that 1 grand on a random, and I'm not encouraging people to gamble, but this is just my thought process with it. You put it on one of those, the spinny wheel things where you spin it and the ball goes round, and you put a grand on it, which was all your money, and you come back with 300 grand. You would look at the initial loss as a gain because then you gain 200 grand. If you can see that loss immediately as good or as something that is okay, then you've won because then you won't feel that negative emotion towards it. Because then the 4th step is finding a way to move on. You don't necessarily have to do this so quickly. Take your time with this. Do this in your time. Maybe you do want to move on quite quickly. Maybe you do want to just let go and forget. And you'll never really forget, but you can let go. And my immediate thought of it was that I was very hurt and it was very painful for me. But I guess it's time to move on. And that's okay. You can allow yourself to move on. That's what I'm allowing myself to do. So if I want to rewind where I said about step 1, let me just rephrase that just so you realize what it is. Step 1 is do what you can if you're going through the breakup to make the breakup work. Because a great piece of advice that I once received was, if you do what you did in the start of the relationship, there will never be an end to the relationship. If your partner says to you, oh, can you clean my car? When you first met, you're, oh, of course, I'll do the wheels, I'll do the inside, I'll do anything you want. And now you're like, no, do it yourself, you lazy moo. You'll do whatever because you're now comfortable with that person. If you can allow that honeymoon period to last longer and you can just do what you can and just be the best person that you can and not necessarily change for anyone, but also I would recommend to change as much as you can in a positive way. And if that's not enough for them, then that's okay and we have to allow ourselves to move on. So step 1 really is do what you can to make it work if you have the chance. Then you can move on to step 2 if you can't make it work, which is just be sad, feel those emotions, allow yourself to feel that hurt. Just feel it, sit with it, be with it. It's okay to cry, it's fine. I cried, I do cry. I cried whenever my relationships have ended in the past. And that's okay, honor yourself with that, that's fine. I personally like to cry in private. That's my way of doing it. Everyone's going to do it in different ways. That's my way of doing it. And that's fine. Step 3 is that realizations that if you get 21, you get 21. If you start with 16, you can still end up with 21. So the card you've been dealt are the cards you've been dealt. That realization is a huge one that will help you because we can't change what we can't control. We just can't control everything in life. And if we can't control it, don't try and control it. I can't control my height and I'm not going to try and control that. But I can control my muscle, so I'm going to control that. Focus on what you can control and remove what you can't. And then step 4 is find a way of moving on. You deserve it to yourself. You should love yourself enough to allow yourself to move on. It's not going to be easy, and it doesn't have to happen tomorrow. It doesn't have to happen in a week, but it can happen today. There's no time period. Just allow yourself to move on. It's okay to move on, and maybe they'll come back. Maybe they won't. That is okay. Allow yourself to move on. Allow yourself to grow, and do something for you. That's just sort of like a bonus thing I want to add in. Go to the gym, work out, get yourself in shape, meditate more, eat healthier, do something that's going to really serve you. And then when you can do that, you'll be able to overcome this breakup that you've been through, and it's okay. And if you've got any questions about breakups, let me know, because I'll be more than happy to explain what I'm going through and how I'm dealing with it and how I can help you. And if you do want me to explain how also I have broken up with someone, how I dealt with that, because that was very difficult for me, let me know and I can make a video on that. But other than that, subscribe.